Sadly, tragedy has struck, and as you can see, the 30-gallon tall octagon has now been emptied and pretty much cleaned out. Well, it's a little dusty, but I mean, it's cleaned out nonetheless. And what we are going to be doing, as you can see, there's no hang-on back filter, is we're going to be planting this pothos down into this substrate here, and possibly using this pothos, which at one point was flourishing. However, it has sadly been neglected. There was a point where this pothos was literally making its way through the entire home. And it will again once we get this tank back up and running. But as far as stocking options is concerned, you already know my favorite fish is the Betta. So we're definitely going with a Betta in here. We will be looking at some type of inverts, possibly CPOs, possibly Neocaradinas, not 100% sure. But I originally had nothing in here in terms of scape. So this particular item right here is my first piece of decoration. And this goes all the way back to 1980 something. Couldn't tell you the year exactly, but it originally was connected to an airline, and this wheel would spin as the bubbles would come out of it. Now, if I were to hook an airline up to it right now, it's just not gonna. The bubbles are gonna come out, but the wheel is not gonna spin. My first turtle tank had this particular piece of decoration in it, so I'll be adding that. And if you take a look at these, you will see that once upon a time they actually had some type of coloration on them. But bottom line is I'm going to be using some kind of decoration in here, and to get this system jump started as far as the nitrogen cycle is concerned, I have these weekend feeder units, which are also from way back in the day. These things are ancient, like they're from the 90s. But what I'm going to do, since they are 3 days worth of feeding, I'm going to drop them into the water and hopefully get this nitrogen cycle started, because as they start to decay, the plants will start taking up the nutrients. And that way, when I do my plop and drop with my Betta, it should be ready and cycled and good to go. I will not be doing any type of testing as far as parameters are concerned. I'm going to go with the good faith that nature knows what it's doing. So as you can see, I already started to uproot this plant some. And let's get this situated. So now all the way here at the back door and all the way down the hallway, there's one plant over here, two plants over here. As you can see, the root system from plant number 1, plant number 2, and plant number 3. And this is the interesting thing about pothos is when a section of the plant comes back in contact with the ground, it starts creating roots again. But this right here is just 3 plants, and then there's 2 more over here. One going in, well, both of them going into the living room, and these vines are actually just 2 actual plants. So one here and one here. But this poor soldier right here, which I'm going to name Audrey 2, is begging for someone to feed him. Is looking at me like, feed me, Fred, feed me. So I'm gonna start with putting that one in the tank first, and then we'll get these 2 that are already hanging, and then we'll figure out something with these 3 big individuals. We'll probably have them running around the house, but stay tuned. We haven't even really gotten started yet. One thing that I really did forget to mention was the fact that there is a castle, and whatever king goes in here is going to have a castle to rule. However, as nice as this may look, with the nice deep substrate, thank you Father Fish, and capped, and we've got the pothos. Well, we've already seen these two running, but now we've got these three that were in the hallway on the floor, almost going back into the kitchen. But as nice as that may be, I completely forgot about the two pothos plants that I had running into the living room here. The life of a fish keeper. It's always something, isn't it? Well, I'm gonna figure out what exactly to do with this, and get this tank filled with water and start getting this cycle going. So now, if you look here, what I have are two small pothos plants, which somehow, I don't know, maybe they broke off from longer stems. I don't know. Like I said before, it will root once it hits the ground. But I have these old hardscape pieces that really aren't fashionable, I guess you could say. So give me a moment. I'm going to actually put these plants and anchor them into these hardscape pieces. And yeah, that's fake. So I'm just gonna make it a little more real. Okay, so now this one we have kind of going through our two holes, and that little piece can get rooted into the substrate, and there's only one hole in this unit, so hopefully that will do all right. Now, I've seen people keep pothos completely submerged. I do not know if that's depending on the specific species of pothos. So these two are going to be my experiments. So we'll see how well they do underwater. I know when it comes to having pothos completely submerged, you do need light. So now, considering how much of a jungle this is, these two pieces are going to have to go up front here somewhere so that they can get as much light as possible. So now, all we have to do is give this a nice little dusting, get this, good and cleaned off, and our tank is pretty much ready to go. As you can see, we have our two pothos experiments that are completely submerged. These other units should be, these other pothos should be just fine because they're well out of the tank. However, we do have one problem. This poor light has burnt out, and that's probably one of the things that contributed to the crash. However, we have to get this replaced, and once we get this replaced, the real issue is these two experiment plants. With these two experiment plants, they're going to need the light. These are going to get plenty of light. And oh, by the way, those two extra pothos plants that I had no idea what I was going to do with, yeah, now they're just we're just going to make this a pothos house. I mean, it's taken over, and then there's no getting around that. And there's another one. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. think we're looking good so far. Now to get that heater plugged in and to run my airline. Life of a fish keeper. I happen to come across an unopened clearance $9 light that I think it's about 20 years old, but we're about to plug this up and see if it actually works, because if it does, this will be a good temporary holding unit. And then there was light. Well, so far this is where we're at. Here we have our 2 experiment fully submerged pothos plants. I don't know if that's actually purling now that the light is on it, but we do have agitation, surface agitation actually. And you know, that shell, that big shell, was actually in the tank when it was filled up before. Eventually that air will dissipate from it and it will sink. However, when I started sifting through the gravel, I found a whole lot more shells of other snails, I guess from past incarnations of this tank, that I just wasn't aware were in here. And something else I found in the substrate, these are pennies. Copper contamination. I have no idea where they came from or how long they had been in there. This is a 20-year-old tank. There's no telling if this was actually slowly poisoning the system, and that's what happened to my last Betta. But the next Betta, I will be giving a name, and this is part of the reason why I did not give that Betta a name, because this was my experiment, my introduction back into the hobby. I feel comfortable now, so I think I can officially call myself a fish keeper now. And now there's the ship, which is my original decoration. That was the first thing I bought when I got my original 10-gallon aquarium kit from Petland Discounts. Shout out to anybody that remembers them. And it would appear that that desk lamp is working just fine. So I just got to get a power strip to plug it into, as well as a timer. That way it'll be pretty much maintenance free. And you know, organize this little bit of a mess down here, which you actually can't really see, but get that air pump and everything put away. And can you hear this thing? Well, I mean, now that I bring it up to the camera, you can hear it, but I mean, it is so quiet. It is so quiet, it's almost scary. But this is what I really didn't want to do with the last Betta, because they don't like that surface agitation. I don't know how bubble nests are going to work. I guess I could get some airline tubing and make some circles and, you know, section things off, but we'll see. We will see. In the meantime, look at those snail shells. Had I not disturbed the substrate, I would have never known that they were in there, or those pennies. I kind of just filled this tank up and started going. But you know what? Stranger things have happened in the fish keeping hobby. I'm quite sure you've heard of some crazy, crazy things. People who have kept goldfish in 5-gallon tanks for 10, 15 years, and for some reason they're sitting there thriving and they're living. Bettas in cold water, goldfish in hot water. Hey, the hobby's full of anomalies, but now that I've got a little experience under my belt, we're going to try to do this right. So, welcome to the Betta Kingdom. Next stop, the local fish store. You know, maybe I should have used some new double-sided tape instead of using the tape that came with that 20-year-old unopened light. Just maybe. Only some more double-sided tape. Unfortunately, it was the end of the roll, and it didn't look like it was in too much of a better position than the tape that I originally took off of the unit. And if you look, let's see, those two, oh shoot, oh boy, that awkward moment when you realize you didn't take off one of the strips of the double-sided tape. Because there were 3 originally on it, and I put three new ones on there. You can see these are the same size, so these are the new ones. But there should be 3 of these. Oh, okay. Whew. I thought yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah, so these were the original, 2 fat ones and a slim one. And these are the 3 that I just put on there. Let's hope that this sticks. Again, that tape is looking pretty old, so I might just run by Home Depot and grab some more anyway. So, again, next stop, local fish store. Hold on, wait a minute. I done messed up. You know, spent a year doing research, spent a year getting my feet wet, getting the actual ground experience, and I know to exercise patience. I know not to fall victim to impulse. But tell me, honestly, if you saw this face looking at you, that you could deny it. Yeah. So, I go to the pet store because I need a net. My net grew legs and walked. And you know what? I'm thinking I should probably get a sponsorship from these folks, because same people that made the net are the same people that raised this little baby Betta. And I think I mentioned before that my last fish did not have a name because I was scared to name him, because I knew that at any given moment anything could happen. But this one right here, I don't even have to give him a name because he has a name already. So everybody say hello to baby boy. Say hi, baby boy. My tank isn't even fully cycled yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this whole cup and I'm gonna float it in the water just so that it could get temperature acclimated. And what I can do is I can change the water on a daily basis. I want this water to be at least 1 week old before I put the Betta in there. And by the time I put him in there, well, he'll be fully acclimated to the water anyway, because I'm going to be changing it every day. I'm going to take at least half of that water out of the bowl and put another half up in there. And welcome home, baby boy. Welcome home. I messed up. That was an impulse buy. But I mean, it was only like $3 or $4. And he's looking at me like, what would you do? As stated before, I would be taking the entire container and floating it into the system with baby boy. So this will definitely get him temperature acclimated. And little by little, I'll be doing partial water changes to this water. I really just want this water to be established for a full week prior to letting him out in it. I know the plants are going to be able to handle what's in there, but I still got that weekend feeder sitting back there, and that's actually not looking too good. Are those snails on it? No, that is it slowly breaking down and breaking up. But I really want some beneficial bacteria inside of here prior to setting baby boy loose into his new home. So right now he's confined to his room, but he will be let loose into his castle so he can get acclimated and find his way around. And in the meantime, this weekend I will probably be finding him some shrimpy friends to spend some time with him so that he's not all alone like his predecessor was. And I don't know what that is down in the bottom. I think that was already in the cup because the flakes that I gave him, like you could actually see the flakes. But the light seems to be working out well now that it's anchored, and baby boy does look a little frustrated, like he really does want to get out of that. Yeah, I know, baby boy. I know. It's okay. I got you. Just a couple more days. Baby. Hey, calm down. Just a couple more days, okay? Kids. Oh yeah. It's been a couple of days. I am starting to see some decent life coming back into the plant. And over here, baby boy seems to be getting a little finicky. I know he's like a teenager trapped in his room. So let's see if we can get him some acclimation going on in here. So we'll take the turkey baster and see. And I think that's all of the food that I put in there today. So let's take the turkey baster, pull out a baster full of water. Go ahead and drop that in here. And then I'll get a baster full of water from here. And I'll drop it in the baby boy. I know, my bad, baby boy. So I'm thinking we do that 2 or 3 more times. Just to get that tank water mixed into his water. And then, I've actually been doing that every day. But once I actually do that 2 or 3 more times tonight, what I'll do is I'll end up taking, enough of this to actually flood that container and sink it, and I'll let him swim out freely. So, baby boy's going home tonight. Baby boy, are you in there pouting? I got you. Let me hit you with another dose of that good tank water. Let's just get you Yeah, hey, baby boy. All right, let's suck up some of this. Oh yeah, that container's getting good and full. I'm thinking 2 more of those and we in there. All right, as you can see, I've turned down the intensity of the air pumping. You know what? I think I could turn that down just a little bit more. Oh, that's a little too much, isn't it? Yeah, because honestly, the plants are going to be taking in oxygen when the lights are off and they're not photosynthesizing. So that's really the only need for this, for there to be surface agitation and gas exchange, because baby boy is a gourami, bettas are gouramis, and they have what's called a labyrinth organ, and they build bubble nest that they can breathe air from. You know, they're like their own little reserve, and that surface agitation, hopefully that's minimal enough to not be too disruptive to his lifestyle. And this may very well be the final baster. You know, where you at, baby boy? There you go. Oh, you ready, ain't you? Well, let's see. Will this be the final baster? Oh, oh, no, one more. So now if you have a, you know, there's no timestamp on these little video segments, but I'm doing this once per hour, so we'll see what happens when the next one comes. But looking at the level, I think it's only going to take one more baster to sink this container, and then baby boy will be home. All right, here we go. This should be the last basting. Got the top completely off now. You know, and I showed somebody a preview of this, and they're like, "Oh my God, is that a hang-on back heater?" Yes, that is. Yeah, it still works. Yeah, old school. Let's get us some water up in here. Looks like more than enough. I think baby boy is properly acclimated to both the temperature and the parameters of this water. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We are almost full. You know what? We're going to make it so. We're going to make it so. So after days and days of at least one full baster water change, and him looking at all these beautiful pothos plants around him, baby boy, you are finally home. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh, look at that. Welcome home, baby boy. Welcome home, baby boy. Look at you going straight for the plants. Oh, shoot. Only thing I got to get this out is these little trellis rods. Let's see if we can get that out real quick. baby boy is official. I think that this is a good time for me to get my B-roll skills up. Let's check it out. Folks, baby boy is looking very happy. However, I let him out, I guess around just before 11 p.m. and it is about 1:45 in the morning. I have been sitting here for the past couple of hours just watching baby boy. And is that, how about that? Oh, my bad. Oh, jeez, kids. So you see how he mugged me? Yeah, and you know what? It's getting late for baby boy. However, he's looking very excited, and he is exploring every inch of his new home. I mean, he has been up and down this water column like it's not a game. It's really not a game. However, being that it's this late, I would normally, turn this light off. But for tonight only, I think I'm going to leave it on all night. And then I'll be plugging this into a timer so that he has a regular light schedule. And I'll be doing that tomorrow. But in the meantime, kids, in the meantime, good night, baby boy. Welcome home. Love you. Good morning, baby boy. How are you this morning? Well, folks, this has been an exciting 2 weeks. Getting this tank together, getting it pretty much cycled, getting baby boy. I wasn't expecting this to be a video where I actually put an inhabitant. What is that? Life of a fish keeper. Anyway, I was not expecting this to be a video where, I actually put any stocking in this tank. I thought this was just going to be me getting the tank together. However, with baby boy finally home, I am so happy. And I'm so happy that you decided to take the time to sit back and check out this video. This tank is no longer simply bare. We've got us some decorations up in here. The last incarnation of this tank, it was nothing but gravel. And not only do we have decorations, we have plenty and plenty and plenty of plant life. So thank you guys for checking out the introduction of Baby Boy and Audrey too. And stay tuned, there'll be more videos to come. Peace and blessings, folks. You guys be safe out there. Say bye, Baby Boy.